continuation zone. If it breaks that area, comes back up for a retest, and continues down, that's what's considered the continuation zone. If not, then it's a mild, very, very, very mild retracement level. So what it will do is it'll come down, retest, and push back up. But it literally only pushes back up from what I've seen on a lot of pairs, max of like 40, maybe not even probably that, probably like 30 to 40 pips. And then it decides to push down and break that zone. 9 times out of 10 guys is literally just going to do what I just drew the first time. It's going to break down through, come up, retest, and then push back down. Continuation zone, but it also can be a consolidation zone for a lot of pairs too. For me, I'm a big heavy trader on the US 30. And for the 23.6 zone, that's definitely a huge consolidation zone for that pair as well. So it really just depends on the pair as well, guys. So that's why I said get very familiarized with the pair that you guys are trying to specialize in trading. And, you know, just literally, guys, it just comes down to practice, you know, just rinse and repeat. It's a skill set. You know, you guys have to apply that same mentality and same mindset when it comes down to, you know, doing things outside of this. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, everybody on here, if not everybody on here, you know, has played some kind of sport, practicing and putting in the reps. You're not just gonna go out to the field, or you're not just gonna hop on the court your first day and you're gonna start making 3-pointers off rip. No, you're taking those shots consistently. You're practicing. You're putting in the time. You're putting in the effort so you can perfect your jump shot. Same thing with football. You know, you're not just going to go out to the field and you just think that you're just going to score 3 touchdowns off rip. No, you're going to take precautions. You're going to take a lot of reps. At whatever position you do, it's the exact same mindset that you guys got to have. Cooking, for example, the exact same thing. For those of you that cook, or that, you know, I have a lot of friends who, you know, are actually professional chefs. They didn't just become professional just from hopping in the kitchen and be like, yo, I'm going to make this for the first time. If that ever happens, then I mean, they just have the golden touch, and I need to get connected with them because I don't have that touch yet. But it's the same thing, guys. They're just putting in the practice, they're putting in the reps, and they're putting in the time. The exact same mindset when it comes down to anything that's a skill set. Put in the time, guys, and I guarantee you it's going to pay you out in tenfolds. So 23.6 zone is what is called the continuation zone. The next zone, which is the 38.2 zone. This is a aggressive, gosh, I can't spell, retracement zone. So what I mean by that is, if the market, once it does its continuation right here, expect the market to retrace at this area. It's a very, very aggressive retracement zone. I'm going to see if I can actually find, let me see. Okay, perfect. Here's an example. Right here. Boom. Market decided to break through this 23.6, what we know as a continuation zone, pushes down to the 38.2, boom, rejects it twice. 1 wick, 2 wick, push back up. Then obviously it had a little rejection here. I like to look in the past to verify why I rejected here. Then it decided to push through. But as you can kind of tell, it's still pushed back up into this zone and it's still rejected, so it struggled. So the 38.2, guys, is what I like to call, like I said, an aggressive retracement zone. Now, there are times where it can push below. And if it pushes below, that's still great too, because literally if you're just trying, you know, to catch a trade, you're just waiting for that retest. When it comes down to, actually, I'll break that down at the end. I'll break that down at the end because I don't want to get you guys too confused. So 38.2 zone is what's called the aggressive retracement zone. But it can still push through that zone as well. So the 50% zone. All right. Mildly, still can't spell, aggressive retracement. So it's a mildly aggressive retracement, but it also acts as a continuation zone. So what I mean by that is if the market, once it decides that, okay, you know, I pushed through the 38.2, cool, I retested here, I'm gonna push down to the 50. Two things can occur, and you have to base this, you have to base this off your knowledge when it comes down to analyzing the pair, and you also have to base it off of, you know, sheer market geometry, and how the market is moving just on, you know, a lower time frame. So what I personally like to do, if I'm seeing, you know, a lot of activity and no breakage through the 50% zone, I'm dropping down to a lower time frame to really understand, okay, why is it not breaking? You know, is this an area of support? Is this a strong area of support? And that's the reason why it's not breaking. Those are some factors that you guys have to account in to really understand why this pair, or why this volume, you know, isn't pushing down as much as it should be. So that's why I say it's a mildly aggressive retracement zone, but it also acts as a continuation zone. So it's very, very similar to the 23.6. Very, very similar to the 23.6. So the next zone is the 61.8. Now, honestly, this is like my favorite zone. I know like a lot of people who trade using Fibonacci's can probably say the same thing. This is an aggressive retracement zone. 99% of the time, if it's going to the 61.8, expect a retracement. And a retracement to the next zone. Goodness. Expect a retracement. Oh, go. 61.8, like I said, my bad, guys. 61.8, it's an aggressive retracement zone. So when the market is coming down to the zone, a lot of retracements occur within this area. You can even see it actually on GU right here. The market decided to retrace right here and pushed all the way up. Made this huge movement all the way up to the upside. So that's why I say it's an aggressive retracement zone. I love when I see the market go to the zone, because my mind automatically is telling me like, okay, cool. I'm literally just gonna take this up. Literally just gonna place a trade. Like in this instance, I would have placed a trade in for a buy, and I would have just literally just would have carried it from zone to zone, from zone. And honestly, if you would have got in here, even if it was just to this zone, that's still 230 pips that you could have caught simply off just that one position. If you're twin trading, you can literally take it to the next zone. That's close to 450 pips. Next zone, 700 pips. That's why I love the 61.8. So it's an aggressive retracement zone. So that's why I tell people if they're utilizing the fibs, and they always ask me like, yo, bro, like, what do you think it's going to do? Like, okay, well, how close is it to the 61.8, or where is it at right now? Well, you know, it's you know, closing into the 61.8. Okay, expect a pullback. 9 times out of 10, a pullback is about to happen, which is cool because, you know, sometimes with certain pairs, if that pullback happens, sometimes it won't actually make that full retracement that we anticipate, and it actually decides to retrace either in the middle of that zone or up to the next zone, and then decides to push back down to a different level. So you're still capitalizing on that movement because you still decided to place a position on that retracement. So expect retracements to happen within the 61.8 zone. So that right there is the 61.8. Honestly, like, other than that, I really don't use the 71 like that. 78.6 I kind of use, so I'll go over that. 78.6. 78.6 and the 88.6. I actually just tie them both together.
For me
Similar to,
personally, they're consolidation, like between the 71 and the 78. Those are
yeah,
usually my consolidation areas.
got you. Yeah. So cool. Thank you, Andre, for throwing that out there. Yeah. So 71 and 71 and 78. You said 71.8 or 78.6?
Yeah, the 71 to the 78.6.
Got you. So in this zone right here, where I have these two lines highlighted red, those are, consolidation zones. So the market doesn't really move much. For those of you that don't necessarily know what consolidation is literally sideways movement. So it's basically when the market is literally moving within this zone and not breaking through or above out of that zone. So, but with the 88.6, from the 78.6 to the 88.6, that zone right there is 9 times out of 10 is usually going to be a full retracement zone. So expect the market to completely reverse. If it doesn't, that means that, for one, I would usually just check back here, like, like, why isn't this reversing like how it should be? That could just mean that a certain strength in another pair is obviously way outweighing the other one, and that's why it's continuing to push down. I've seen a lot of pairs where they do a full 100% retracement. They literally go all the way down to the 100% and then retrace. But majority of the time, the market tends to go to the 88.6 or a little bit outside of it, and then decides to make its move back up. So the 78.6 to 88.6 zone is usually that full retracement zone. So that right there is just basically, what these zones mean in regards to, if you're going to, or when you decide to trade utilizing the Fibonacci retracement tool. And honestly, guys, like, for me, like, it's mad easy because it's literally just break and retest and carrying it from one zone to the next. So for those of you that are utilizing, like something like Price Trap, for example, I don't know how many of you guys are utilizing that, but it's literally, it's damn near the exact same concept. You're literally just waiting for that break and that retest every single time. And that's literally how I maximize my profits as well. If I'm seeing, for example, I'll switch over. Actually, before I actually touch into that, I'm sorry if I'm moving a little too quick, guys. Feel free to let me know. For those of you, like I said, I'm just going to retouch over this. The 23.6 is the continuation zone. The 38.2, that's an aggressive retracement zone. But if it breaks through, then it obviously acts as a continuation as well. The 50 zone, that's a mildly aggressive zone. Mildly aggressive retracement zone, but it's also a continuation. So it's very similar to the 23.6. The 61.8, that's an aggressive retracement zone. So you're definitely going to see a lot of reversals happen at this zone. The 78.6 and the 88.6, those are usually going to be what's called a full retracement zone. Do we actually have any questions so far before I kind of move on? Or are we all Gucci?
We do only have about a little less than 3 minutes left, but someone did have a question about entries.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll quickly touch on that. So, when I'm looking for entries, I'll actually just pull up US 30. For me, guys, what I'm looking at, I place my entries when I'm trading fibs. Now, this is just when I'm trading fibs. Actually, that's a lie. When I'm placed, I do this for every type of trading style I utilize because I'm a very versatile trader, so I definitely utilize fibs. I do price trap here and there. Sometimes I do institutional trading as well, but Fibonacci's is literally my bread and butter. So this is majority of the time what I'm trading. But for entries, I mark up on the 4 hour. I look at the 1 hour to see if an entry is about to occur. and I actually execute my entries on the 30-minute time frame or on the 15-minute time frame. So what I'll do is I will actually go back to GU and I will type that in that text chat or this box so you guys can take a picture of it. So entries, 15-minute, 30-minute time zone. So that's when I place my entries. If I'm seeing an entry on the 1 hour, then I'm going to take it too. So how exactly am I placing my entries? Simple. So if I go back to US 30, for example, I caught this buy right here on US 30. How did I see this? I saw that it broke through the 61.8, went to the 50. I was like, okay, I see this exhaustion to the left. I'm seeing it stop right here. So there's struggle. So that's a clear indication, okay, momentum is going to push back up. I don't know how much, but I know it's going to push back up. Dropping down to the 1 hour. What am I seeing? Boom. I'm seeing action. Okay. I see this wick first. I see this candle first. I'm sorry. Then I see this candle with this wick touching it on the 1 hour. Now I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to place this trade? Dropping down to the 30-minute. I want a precise entry.